details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor, and we want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
Life is busy and life is loud. How can you get above the noise? Join former Nebraska cheerleader Ashlee Mitchell as she tells you about her experiences in front of the loudest crowds in college athletics and how she rose above the noise. This is Above the Noise on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Ashlee Mitchell.
Hello, guys. I hope y'all are having a great night. And tonight, I have some very, very special guests with me. Here we have Emma Spence and Tristan Gomez. Guys, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, first of all, that was an amazing intro. I really, really like that. I haven't heard that before, so that was awesome. But yeah, my name's Emma Spence. If you were tuning in like 5 minutes ago, I just finished up my show with these amazing people as well. But yeah, I was a gymnast on the Nebraska team for 4 years from 2021 to 2025. So I just retired in May. I was also on the Canadian national gymnastics team for 8 years, competing internationally with them. But yeah, just graduated from Nebraska. I have my show here as well. It's called Beyond the Routine. And yeah.
Tristan, what about you?
Yeah. Former student athlete, played baseball at the University of Portland, and then made my way back here to Nebraska and wanted to get into sports talk. And so I started a podcast where I just talk to athletes about the mental side of the game. It's called The Athlete's Mindset. If you want to check it out, just had Emma on. That episode will come out soon. And then I got the opportunity here at 93.7 The Ticket just to kind of highlight athletes like you guys.
That's awesome. So I would like to say we all did very tough sports. I think today, just at least for a little bit, I want to focus a little bit on mentality, mental toughness, especially since this is in your ballpark, Tristan. So just to start off, guys, why don't we talk about the highs? What were some of the unexpected joys that you guys found in your sports?
Yeah, I think when I just look back at my career, I always just think of the people I got to do it with. And so I think that's one thing where when you go to school, for all of us, you go to school and you kind of just have some like built-in best friends. Like there's people on your team you gravitate towards more, but then you get to know them and you're like, oh, you're just going to be like one of my best friends for life. And you are going through all the tough days together, the early weight sessions, the long practices, and then even the games that don't go so well, but you're with your best friends. And so I think that's just one thing I think about when I look back and just appreciate is just the relationships that I made.
That's really good.
I agree with you about that. And going off of that, I think another thing that I really, really enjoyed was being able to travel and compete. So when I was on the national team for Canada, I'm from Canada. I don't think I mentioned that, which is why I did that. But we used to travel around the world competing. So I had the opportunity to compete in so many different countries and explore and learn different cultures and meet people from different countries as well. So that part of it was really fun. And then the same thing being at the university, getting to travel around the US, because I mean, I'm not from here, so I never really traveled to different states or anything. So being able to be on the team brought those opportunities to me as well. And I think that was really special.
That's so cool. Yeah, I think for me personally too, it was the relationships, but also I think just being able to cheer other people on. Like as I got older and it transitioned from all-star cheer, which is like more competitive, to collegiate cheer, where we did get to cheer teams on. Just finding that joy and like seeing other people's wins that was like incredible. And even being able to find joy in losses, because that losses means learning. So that was really good for me too. All right, guys, would you want to like just introduce a little bit about what your sport was like in college? Because I obviously not everybody is a college athlete. So like I personally have no idea what a day in the life would look like for a baseball player or a gymnast, but I would love to hear what your days were like.
I want to hear the gymnast side of it first.
Okay, so it depends if you're looking at the preseason, the summertime training or the season training. So maybe I'll go into like more the season, what that was like. Preseason, we work out in the morning. We don't do that during season. They let us sleep in a little, which is nice. But usually the day would start, I'd wake up, get ready. I'd go to the stadium and I would usually eat breakfast there. I would try to. And then I would go to class and I would do classes from as early as they started, usually 8 or 9:30. And then I would do that pretty close until 1:00. And then I would go over to Devaney and we would practice from 1 to 5 approximately, depending on the day of the week. And then we would usually lift after practice. So we would get done lifting. It also depended on the week, but usually around 5:30. And then after that, cold tub, recovery, all that good stuff. And then go back to the stadium, eat dinner there. Or I really like making my own dinner and just like unwinding by myself. And just having that alone time to kind of just relax after a busy day, but could do that at the stadium as well if I wanted to. And then I would do homework for a couple more hours. And then I would basically go to bed and do it all again. And then we would be traveling on the weekends almost every weekend for about 12 weeks in a row is how long our season is. Also did a lot of rehab and PT. So tried to fit that in between class schedules. Usually went and got some kind of treatment done probably 3 to 4 times a week, usually in the morning in between classes or early before classes started. And trying to find time to hang out with people as well. That wasn't very usually a priority during season because I was spending so much time with my teammates that I was hanging out with them all the time anyways, that I didn't really fit that in my schedule afterwards. But basically, yeah, I did the same thing for about 12 weeks in a row. And that's how our season looked.
Yeah, very similar, especially when you get into the season. So for baseball, we still had weights during the season, but it was more just kind of like to maintain our strength.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were trying to get stronger. We did all that in the off season, and so we would typically have weights 2 or 3 times a week, and they were pretty early, usually like 7:00. You get done with weights, and then you go straight to class for 3-4 hours, and then you get done with class and you just go straight to practice from about 2-3 until 5-6 at night. And then same thing, you get done and you're like, all right, all I want to do is just be home, eat dinner. And so usually it was nice that the University of Portland is so small, and so it's kind of cool that like there's the university and then right across the street is just a huge neighborhood, and pretty much everyone at the school lives in the same neighborhood. And so
Cool.
I would make my dinner, walk 2 houses down, eat dinner with friends, guys on the team, and then we'd play video games, watch a show or something, and then it'd be 9:00, and it's like, all right, time for bed, and then you go home and go to bed. And it's the same thing over and over. And I don't want to make it sound like it's like miserable because I loved it. It was
Mhm.
so much fun. And then similar, you travel on the weekends, and there were so many cool places like I got to go that I
Mhm.
never would have been, like College Station down in
Yeah.
Texas to play Texas A&M, which is one of the coolest environments I've ever been to. And the Portland Pilots beat Texas A&M 2 out of 3 games, so that was pretty
Mhm.
cool. But just like going down to Texas, Arkansas, pretty much everywhere in California, and so it was pretty cool just to have those experiences.
That's really cool. So you both kind of brought into the whatever I asked. I can't even think about what I asked, but you both brought into it like the travel. So is that the highlight of your experience, or like what was the best part of the experience?
The whole experience of like being a student athlete.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know if I would say the travel part specifically because I actually have a fear of airplanes and flying. So that was actually
Oh
very
no.
stressful for me. But being able to explore different places and compete in different venues, but probably the highlight for me would be just like the competing part of it itself. So going out there, performing, celebrating, and just like taking in the moments with my teammates was really great. So I guess like the season was my favorite part of the year. and then being able to compete wherever I was like a bonus on top of it.
Yeah, I think very similar. I've said it before, but just like the relationships and people I met. But then also, I think like the personal victories. I think some
Mm.
people try to like stray away from those because they don't want to sound like they have a big ego or they're all about themselves. But I mean, similar to you guys, I bet there were times in your sport where you accomplished something that you really didn't think you could. Like we were playing Texas A&M and they had a pitcher throwing 99 miles an hour. I had never seen that in my life, and then I hit a home run, and I was like, "Wow!" Like I
Wow.
don't want to go like talking about this, but like looking back, I'm like, that was pretty cool. Like you got to
Yeah.
be proud of some things. So I bet similar to you guys, you have some things that those just little victories throughout your years of being in your sport that you just kind of gradually got better at and accomplished. So I think that's one of those things that as athletes we don't appreciate enough at times.
Yeah, that's really good. The little wins.
Mhm.
Yeah. Spence, for gymnastics, speaking of little wins, like what would those look like in gymnastics? Because I know it is such a strenuous sport and that it really like you have to be perfect technically. Like you have to hit all of those points, the toes pointed, the
Mhm.
tumbling, all these different things.
Yes, for sure. And gymnastics is kind of a tricky sport when it comes to that because we're being judged for every single thing that we do. And sometimes the judges' scoring is inconsistent, whether it's with them between themselves, different competitions. Um, so it was really hard to focus on the scores that you were receiving to kind of base your success on, if that makes sense. So I tried to focus more on the performance and the routines that I went out there and did. Because sometimes you could do a really great routine and the judges didn't think so, or you do a really bad routine and the judges think it was good. So it was really hard figuring out how to measure success in that sense. Um,
Yeah.
and then there's also the side of it of the individual competition and then the team competition. So, for example, the team might not have a great meet, but I did really well and won some individual titles. Or the opposite, I didn't have a great meet, but the team ended up winning at the end of the day. So, it really just depended on the situation that I was in. For me, I tried to just focus on each routine that I went out there and did. And obviously, when I got a good score, I was really happy. And I was like, oh, well, that must have been a really good routine. But there were a lot of times where I was proud of a routine that I did, and it didn't necessarily score the way that I was hoping that it would. And I was still proud of it as well.
That's a really good mindset. I like that. I guess I didn't think about this, but both baseball and gymnastics are like team sports, but also they have a solo aspect to it. What was that dynamic like? Just because since I was a cheerleader, like the only solo dynamic was pretty much tumbling, like everything else we were really doing as a group. So like what was that like? What were the mental challenges? What was the like fun part of it? Tell us all.
Yeah, I think in baseball, you said it perfectly. It's a team sport, but a lot of it is just kind of on your own. When you're in the box facing a pitcher, there's no one in the dugout that can really help you or, do it for you. And so that was one thing that was a huge mental challenge because when things are going well in baseball, you like kind of feel nothing. Like you're not even thinking. People would ask after I had a good game, like, what were you thinking? I was like, nothing. And then when you're struggling, you're like, oh, I had this thought, didn't want to fail here, didn't want to let this person down. And so just kind of like trying to maintain that and understand, like, all right, like be confident in yourself. And one thing that I think really helps, especially with young athletes, is don't have your confidence be so result oriented. I think I would seem like I had all the confidence in the world when things were going really well. And then it would be pretty easy to tell when I was struggling that, all right, his confidence has kind of gone away. And so I think it's super important just to kind of have that unwavering confidence. Even when things aren't going well, I believe in myself. I've put in the work. And so I think that's one thing that I tried to just continue to instill in myself is I was just as good as I was a week ago. Things just aren't going great, but I still believe in myself. So I think that was just having the confidence, even when things aren't going well, is the most important part.
Yeah, that's really good. And like having those bad moments not drag you down because it is so easy to have one bad performance like bring down a whole week or a whole month. It's just like kind of a snowball effect of that. So that's really really important. That was something I feel like I learned as well like my last year just with struggling with like tumbling or
Yeah.
different mentality things. What about you?
Yeah, I feel like you explained that really well. And just being able to trust the process, trust the work that you put into it behind the scenes, the amount of reps that you've done in training gym and trust that you can just kind of relax and let it happen because your body knows what to do, even if your mind doesn't believe it in the moment.
Mm.
And it took years for me to get to that point and realize that. And there were still times I'd go up to my coach and I'd be like, I don't think I can do it. Like, yes. How many times do you think you've done this skill in your life? And it's like, like thousands. And it's like, okay, good point. I just got to trust that my body in the moment is going to know what to do. And in the mental side of gymnastics, and I'm sure you get it in cheerleading as well, like the mental blocks, it's like, I forget how to do a backflip. It's like, no, you don't. But it's like, but I think I do. And then you just go for it. And it's like, your body knows what to do.
Yeah.
So just trusting that.
Yeah. It's like for cheer and gymnastics, I guess. So going off of that, it's a lot like you let if you don't have a single thought going on, like that's when you do best, just like what you said too with baseball. But when you start thinking, that's when things start going wrong. Like truly just thinking about the dynamics of a backflip. Like when you start thinking about that, things get really scary. You start like overthinking things, but the muscle memory in cheer and gymnastics and tumbling is like insane, because once you train your muscles to do these things so many times, like you just naturally do it, but it's your thoughts. And I'm sure you get that with hitting too. Like you have the good muscle memory, but once you start overthinking things and trying to switch things up, that's when it changes. So, I mean, actually, I think that's like a great point, even just for life now, like post grad life, like muscle memory, maybe not with our like true muscles, but like with our brain, with the ways that we think, the ways that we act. Like, are your thoughts going to be positive? Are you going to let them be negative? I think that's really important for me and something that I've learned as well.
Yeah, I'm curious, did you guys ever struggle, I mean, from the tumbling aspect, from the gymnastics aspect of when you're trying to like tweak things or change things? I feel like with hitting, there were so many times where I'd be tweaking my swing so much that I would get so far away from like what felt super comfortable and like almost didn't even feel like myself. But it's like those steps you have to take back to like excel a little bit. Did you guys ever struggle with like you're really working on something and then you get to a point you're like, what am I doing right now?
Yeah, and go ahead with that one.
Yeah. So like I would explain that in like the sense of our technique on the skills that we do. Cause I mean, when you're on the beam, for example, every little thing, like you move like an inch, not even to the side, you're off like completely. So the precision and the details that go into it are so precise. And sometimes, yeah, you get a correction from a coach, like, for example, straighten your right leg a little bit more. And then I'm way off to the side because I'm thinking about like something completely different, and just having to go back to the basics and relearn, like, and just rethink about what you do going into the skill. And the keywords has been a huge thing for us. And I'm sure you guys probably both have that as well. Like keywords that you tell yourself, and then your body kind of just knows what to do when you think those words, instead of thinking like, okay, I'm going to put my arms down and then I'm going to go backwards and I'm going to arch and I'm going to grab. Like, just like when you break it down like that, it gets to be like way too much. And that's when I guess those things kind of get out of hand.
Yeah, I was going to say, for me, like I like also coached. I know I mentioned that a little bit in Emma's, but for me that like was something that's helped me a lot, but it also tormented me a lot. So like my brain was always going, I was always so hyper aware of what I was doing, that it ended up being really hard for me, because tumbling is all about angles. So like the way you take off, like you have to take off at a certain angle. If you're doing a certain tumbling position, your knees either need to be in front of your toes or behind your heels, you know, to hit that certain angle. When you're in a handstand, your feet either have to be like behind you or you need to be straight up and down. Like it's just crazy how much like precision comes into it. But once I started coaching, I started hyper analyzing that stuff. Oh, I wasn't hitting this correctly. Oh, I wasn't hitting this. And I ended up coaching myself more than my coaches were coaching me. And I think that just naturally plays into who I am as a person. Like I always want to strive for perfection, but that was a really interesting thing I had to get used to.
Did you struggle at all with coaching, like going from just how great you were and how almost easy some things like might have felt to your coaching, and these are athletes that are still trying to figure out, still trying to do it? I coached baseball at Millard North this past spring, and guys would like swing and miss at certain pitches, and I'm just like, what are you doing? If I was in the box right now, I would have hit a home run. Like it's so easy. And one like piece of advice I got just regarding coaching, it was like it's not as easy as you think it is. Like remember how hard the game was when you were playing, because I think we kind of get like that ego where we're just like, this was so easy, what are you doing wrong? Did you struggle with that at all, like coaching? You're like, why can't you just do it?
I think for me it actually turned into, yes, I would totally agree with that. I think I was a little bit just like stricter, and I kind of forgot about the mental element of it. Like I would be like, well, these girls are like physically able to do it, and it would like keep me up at night because I'm like, why can these girls not do it? Like they're physically able to. And I took it kind of more from an analytical standard, where I was like, they are strong enough. They're doing this, this, and this. Why aren't they doing this? And I think I put a lot of pressure on them in that sense. But also, yes, I totally remember there were like certain circumstances where I'd be like, I want to just jump in and do it for them. Like, I know I can do it. Put me in, coach. And I'm like, whoa, like you have to step back and realize like these kids are learning the exact same lesson that you learned before, which is so beautiful, but also like so hard to watch and learn because you're like, I already learned this, guys. Just listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying because I know what you're going through. I know what you're doing. So that was always really interesting. I think coaching taught me a lot. But you said you were coaching a year ago. Or you're currently coaching at Millard North?
No, done coaching now. Just coached this past spring.
How did you like that? Did you learn any good lessons from that other than what we were just talking about?
I did. I think like you kind of just said, is the mental side of it. I think so many times, especially in baseball or even in your guys' sports, is you want to coach just the mechanical side of it and get all that right. But then you don't realize like how mental it really is. I mean, you knew it as a player, but then you think it doesn't work that way when you're coaching. And so I kind of just like gained away from that is like the best thing you can do as a coach is instill as much confidence as possible into your players. And so I think that was one thing that I strive to do is just like, I may not be able to fix your swing right now, but if I can make you believe in your swing, things might work out. So I think that was a very important part.
That's really good. Actually, one of my favorite coaches to this day, genuinely, he and I still lift at his gym, but he was talking to me and he was like, honestly, I think more of our sessions were just talking things out instead of like actually working because that's what you needed. And I was like, that's so true. And it's really cool to have a coach that recognizes what these different athletes need. Some athletes really do just need somebody to be very strict and hard on them. And other athletes like need a step back and need to like debrief whatever's in their head, whether it's even related to the sport to do well. And that's just really interesting and important for a coach to notice. And I hope if I do coach in the future that I am like that. But yeah, Spence, what about you? Like, I know you've had some coaching experience, correct?
Kind of. Like, I've been like a guest coach at different events and stuff, but that's not something I've done like consistently.
Yeah, but I almost think that's even harder because you don't know the kids very well.
That's true.
So like,
yeah, I had no idea what I was doing, and like I never really got taught how to coach either. Like, basically, I was just there because of like it was in a Canadian club, and it just because of like being on the national team, you know. And it's like, okay, no one's actually ever taught me how to spot, how to like coach. So they're like, okay, like these people are learning like stuff on beam, and then I'm watching, and the girl's like, can you stand there? Can you spot? And I'm like, yeah.
Someone usually does that for me.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I'm like terrified because I don't know how to do it. And yeah, so that was really interesting. That was a couple of years ago. And like, yeah, there's been times where girls are like, hey, can you watch this and like give me feedback? And like, I'm fine with giving the feedback. But when it comes to like the hands-on like spotting, like that is so stressful for me because it's so dangerous. Like the kid's life is in your hands. Like if you drop them on your head, like that's on you. And I don't want that responsibility.
That's terrifying. Can you see yourself coaching in the future?
No. Maybe like older athletes that like know what they're doing. So I don't need to like do like the hands-on spotting. It's more of like giving feedback and corrections, but I don't think I'd want to do like the basics, like starting from the beginning and like really like hands-on coaching.
Wow. Yeah, little kids are noodles. That's the life lesson here. But we are going to a quick break, guys. Thank you so much for watching Above the Noise, and tune back in about 5 minutes.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor, and we want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Limitless Male says it's all fun and games until your testosterone plummets. Testosterone levels can start falling as early as age 30 with symptoms like no energy, poor sleep, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, and mood swings. If this sounds familiar, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel this good, you'll wonder why you waited so long to get a free consult at Limitless Male. Get scheduled today.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you can save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Back to Above the Noise on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Ashlee Mitchell.
All right. Hello, guys. We are back. I'm with some very special guests, Emma Spence and Tristan Gomez. Guys, we have had so much fun so far. I have a very important question that Emma Spence starred on the paper. What do you guys think about before you compete?
Yeah, oh gosh, a lot. There's a lot that's going through my brain. I think a lot of it is just trying to like calm myself down. Like, I'll be honest, a lot of people like talk about listening to like really hype music, like pump up music. Like, I had to listen to some like pretty chill stuff, just to like get myself to relax. And I think just the reminding myself, the fear of something going wrong is going to make it go right. Like, you've put in all the work and take pride in like what you've done. The times that things were going really well, I think I did a good job of that, and just kind of thought to myself, like, you've done this so many times before, and just believe in yourself. You've done so much. And so I think that would be when things are going well. That's what I was going through my head.
Right. Okay. Well, then when things weren't going well, what would you think about?
Yeah, a lot of it was almost things I couldn't control. Like, it was all in my head about like, oh, if I strike out today, then I'm not going to play tomorrow. I don't want to let my teammates down. What are other people thinking about me? I think that was maybe when I was younger, like first into college and performing. And it was almost like a narcissistic like mindset, because it was like all these people aren't really thinking about you. I feel like everyone, when you really think about it, is like worried about their own performance, worried about preparing. Like, you could ask me what my teammate did one game and I'd be like, I don't remember what he did.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea, because I was so invested in like what I was doing. And so that was the issue, was I was so worried about what other people were thinking or things I couldn't control. And I think that was the very negative side of it.
So to flip the script on yourself, you would just try to continuously speak positive thoughts, or what would you do other than that?
Yeah, I would. One thing I heard that just a like mental sports coach talked about before is like, if you never need to just kind of boost yourself, it's just like watch yourself doing well. So I just go and watch highlights of like me having success earlier, like big hits, big moments. And then I would see that and be like, that's the same person. Like, I can do that again. And then I had this like kind of like corny phrase when I would get into the box. I would just look at my bat, and then on my bat it said insane. I don't know why DeMarini did that, but it said insane. And so I would just be like, you're him, you're insane, and then get in the box. And it was just like that kind of like switch that I helped a little bit. And like everyone else is going to be like, what's wrong with you? But it was like just that little kind of cue that made me lock in, like be positive with myself.
Yeah, that's really good. Emma, what about you? Like, what did you think about before you would hit the beam, hit the floor?
So this is interesting, and it really had to change depending on the event that I was doing. So, for example, I was going up on beam and I had to be really calm, and my breath had to be slow. Like, everything just had to be very calm. But then if I was going to go up on vault, for example, it was the opposite. I had to have as much hype and energy as I could, because I had to go max speed down the vault runway, you know? So I really had to figure out how to change the way that I was feeling before going up on each event, because I did have to do 4 at basically every meet. So figuring out the prep before the routine before I went. So for example, on beam, I literally would lay on the floor and have headphones in and close my eyes. Like, I had to be so calm.
I remember seeing this and I was like, what? And this was before I had ever talked to Emma or known her. And I was like, what is this girl doing? And like, seriously, she looked like just a dead body. Like, not to be weird, but
No, literally.
she wouldn't move a muscle. It was crazy.
And I was just like box breathing, you know, just like trying to slow my heart rate down as much as I could, because beam specifically was the most nerve-wracking for me to compete. So my heart is beating so fast, my hands are sweaty, I'm shaking, and I literally had to like physically ground myself to be able to calm down. But then for vault, I'm like running on the spot, jumping up and down, just like hyping myself up before those kinds of routines. So it was really about figuring out what I needed for each event. I had certain cues or things that I would say before I competed as well. Usually like right before I would go, like I would take a deep breath and be like, you got this. And then I would go, or something similar to that, depending on the vibe, I guess. But yeah, it was really specific to each event. And it also took a while to get to the point where I realized it had to be different. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't be jumping up and down before the beam routine or I will jump off the beam.
Man, that's really cool. I guess I didn't even think about the different events and how you would have to ground yourself in different ways for that. I just never really thought about that. For the cheer side of it, I think I had those routines more when I was competing. Of course, Nebraska cheer is now going to compete this year, which is really exciting. But for the past few years, they were just a sideline team. But when I was competing, I think one of my biggest things was just like leaning on my teammates. I think I always was like squeezing someone's hand, or like I think my way to get in the zone was actually like encouraging others, which is like such a like cheerleader thing to do. But I couldn't sit there and be in my own head, because the second I started thinking about myself, I would like stress myself out and start getting wild thoughts that I at the time didn't know how to control. So my thing was like, get out of your head, talk to somebody else, like let's go. Like if you're encouraging others, you're subconsciously encouraging yourself. So that was like one of my big things. Speaking of just like thoughts, did you guys get a chance? I think this is something I was thinking about while you were talking, Tristan, but did you get a chance to celebrate your wins, or did you always take your wins, like little wins, whether if you hit well or whatever, would you take them and just move on? Okay, now I got to do the next thing. Now I got to be better at this. Or would you celebrate in those little wins?
Yeah, I think at first when I was younger, even in high school, early into college, I almost just thought like this is what you're supposed to do. Get over it, like move on, don't get too excited. And then as I grew older and was in like pretty much my senior year, I was like, anytime like you get a hit or make a big play and there's like, your whole team's cheering for you and they're all happy for you, like you got to enjoy that a little bit. I think so often in sports, you're almost just expected to like be perfect, or just like when something happens, you're like, yeah, act like you've been there. And so I think I did a better job later as I played and was like, we're going to appreciate this a little bit. And like, I don't know if you guys watch home much baseball, but like bat flips are kind of a thing. So like if you hit a big home run, you'll like kind of like watch the ball, walk a little bit, bat flip. And people, all the old heads will be like, act like you've been there before. And it's like, I mean, I've been here before, but like, I'm going to celebrate this a little bit. Like, this is kind of my moment, like to like be the man. And so like those kind of just like little things that sometimes seem a little cocky, I think, are things that like should be appreciated a little bit more. It's like, this is someone that just had a huge victory for themselves. Like, let them appreciate it.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the time too, we downplay our own victories. And I think that goes into the mentality of things too. Like if you never celebrate, then you're never going to truly win.
Yeah.
Like, and the win is in your mind, like truly. But Emma, what about you? What about gymnastics?
Yeah, no, that the way that you explain that is pretty accurate for me as well. I feel like I didn't fully embrace the wins or the journey itself until my senior year, when I was like, okay, this is my last time ever doing this. I'm going to soak in every moment. And that's when I finally really took in every moment, every routine. If it was good, even if it wasn't good, I was able to laugh it off instead of just like really be hard on myself. There was a meet this year. I forgot my beam routine in the middle. Like, what kind of senior does that? First of all, that's like a 7-year-old
Like you didn't know what was next? Like,
yeah. No, I
What'd
froze.
you do?
I started moving my arms around and walking. Like, I forgot my dance. I forgot what was next. I was like, how does this happen? Like, and like, that was so embarrassing. I got a bad score, obviously. And I was able to laugh about it. And I was like, the coaches were also kind of just like, are you good? Because like that's so uncharacteristic. But yeah, being able to just laugh things off and then just soak in and celebrate the good routines that I did. Up until then, no, I feel like you explained that really well. You're expected to be perfect all the time. So it was like you did a good routine and you walk it off like, yeah, I meant to do that. Like, I'm just gonna kind of internally celebrate and not make it known that like I'm really excited and proud of myself right now. Because I think another thing with athletes is you don't necessarily want to be the cocky one on the team that's celebrating your wins, even though that's so wrong. And I feel like that's so backwards, because when you do celebrate and lean into it, I mean, it's the positive energy that radiates from you and that kind of spreads onto the team. But there is some kind of, I don't know how you want to word it, like, I don't know.
Like a stigma?
Yeah, stigma maybe around having to pretend that like, yeah, I meant to do that and not being able to celebrate. But
yeah,
people do better when they do celebrate, I find.
I think that was a great way that you worded it too. Like just saying the word like cocky, like you don't want to be the cocky person on the team. But I think there's also a great line between being cocky and humbly being proud of yourself. And I think that line always gets blurred, especially actually by coaches, I think, because I think for me personally, sometimes that got doled down by coaches because I would celebrate a win and they'd be like, not so fast. Like, you have so much more to do. Like, just, I think cheer and gymnastics, because every little thing mattered so much. And of course, I know baseball with like hitting and stuff, every little thing mattered. But I feel like a lot of the time I got like a not so fast. You actually have this, and this to fix. And so I feel like I never really felt like I could fully like celebrate.
Yeah.
But
And you don't want to seem like you're satisfied. I think that's also kind of the idea that a lot of people get is like, if you do something well and then you really celebrate it, people are like, that's it. Like, you're happy with that. And I know you had a good point of just talking about like the journey is like, what are you only going to be happy once you accomplish this thing? And then you look back and let's say, even if you do accomplish this thing, you're gonna be like, damn, I kind of made myself miserable for like months, or all the process of building up to this just to get to this point. I got to this point. I was like, I could have enjoyed all these little moments in between way more.
yeah, that's really good. I think I like when you can like translate this stuff into real life, but I think that's a great point just for real life where we're at right now, especially being in that place where, we all have like jobs, or I mean, I go to school, but that's like a job for me. But celebrating those little wins in that, and especially outside of that, because your life isn't just work. And I think that's a great lesson that people forget sometimes because their job just is so big to them, but it's not all consuming, and you are so much more than your job. But when you guys failed in sports, if you guys didn't make a team you wanted to make, if you guys didn't get the skill you wanted to get, if you didn't, make whatever cut you had set out in your brain, what would you guys do? How would you cope with it? And if you could change anything now, what would you do?
Go ahead, Emma.
Okay. For me, when you say that, I think about my Olympic journey.
Yeah.
2-time alternate. Basically, it was tough. So just shy of making my ultimate goal happen twice. And that was really tough. And I feel like when I ran around the first time for the 2020 Olympics, I was young. I was like 17, 18. So I was not really sure how to cope with that. But there were a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings. And I feel like I just brushed it off as I was fine, because that's another thing we're supposed to do as athletes, But this second time around for the 2024 Olympics, I was so close to making it again, and I just came shy of it. And it was really upsetting, and it was really hard mentally. And instead, I allowed myself to feel the feelings. I didn't force myself to be okay. I didn't try and push through it and pretend that I wasn't. I took the time to feel how I felt naturally without trying to force it. And I feel like by doing that, I was able to move forward so much quicker, and it didn't come back and, I guess, not haunt me, but it didn't come back and make me feel those feelings later on. I really just in the moment felt what I needed to feel. I didn't fight it. And then eventually I was like, you know what, we're good. And I moved forward, and I finished off my NCAA career afterwards, and it didn't really like come back. So I think just feeling whatever you need to feel without always having to force it is something that I learned. And that's really important just in like everyday life as well.
Yeah, that's so well said. I'll be honest, at first, anytime I failed, it did not go well. Like, I was so upset with myself, so hard on myself. And Emma, we actually talked about this yesterday. It's almost like treating yourself in like a third person point of view. Like when one of your teammates would struggle, you wouldn't think they're terrible or they're awful. But when we do it, we're just thinking the most negative things about ourselves. And so that was one thing that helped me, was just like, all right, give yourself a little bit more grace, like we've talked about. And then just, a positive outlook is going to lead to a positive outcome. A negative outlook is going to lead to a negative outcome. So after I'd failed, I always like would have these negative thoughts, and I'm like, so I'm having these negative thoughts, but I'm expecting to have a positive outcome. That's just not going to work. And so that was a good lesson I learned, was just like, all right, things aren't always going to go the way you plan. It's your response that's really going to navigate how well you respond.
Yeah. I really like that you said, like, if I have negative thoughts, I'm not going to have like a positive outcome. And that's so true. I actually remember when I was coaching, I had a younger girl who was super, super mental on a tumbling skill. And it got to the point where we resorted to reading a mentality book. And this is crazy, but you guys visualize this if you're listening as well. The whole point of it was, okay, when I say, do not imagine a pink elephant right now. And like, are you guys imagining a pink elephant?
Yeah.
So it's hard, but like, you have to also learn how to like speak to yourself. Like when I'm saying, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up, you're gonna mess up. And it's also with the positivity, like if you're not speaking to yourself positively, then you're probably not going to have a positive outcome. But it's just so interesting how our brains, like how that wiring works. But more on that in a couple of minutes. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in, and we will be back soon.
For tradition, on every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Rollouts have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Rollouts will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Rollouts make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrollouts.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Rollouts, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
Back to Above the Noise on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Ashlee Mitchell.
All right, and we're back, guys. Again, if you are just tuning in, this is the last couple of minutes, but I'm with Emma Spence and Tristan Gomez. I think this will be a fun question. I was going to ask you guys what I wish I knew then, and like what you guys would want to tell your younger selves. But we actually went over that with Emma Spence and her podcast. So y'all will have to tune into that. Instead, what is the best advice you've given someone about your sport? I know that's random. I don't even know if I could think of something right now, but I think that's a good question.
Go ahead, Emma.
Sorry, I'm distracted by this bug. Okay, best advice would probably be to trust the process. I think I touched on that earlier, but you know, there's so many different parts to the sport and so many different things that you do every day. And you have to trust that that work that you're putting into it is going to pay off in some way, even if it's not right away. So I think that's probably the best thing that I was told. Because even if I had a bad day or a bad competition or routine, whatever it may be, it's like knowing that you did put that hard work in and eventually it will pay off, even if it's not during that routine specifically.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I think that's really good advice. Mine, kind of away from like the sports standpoint, but like, or performance standpoint. Now looking back at it, I don't think I wasn't a bad teammate by any means, but I think there were times where I was kind of just like negative with myself. And so I wasn't like the most positive person with other people. And now just looking back, it's like, I don't remember half the at-bats that I had or half of these things. But I do remember like the great relationships I made or like the positive impacts that people had on me or like the great conversations. And so I always like, whenever I'm talking to people now, I'm just like, how are they going to leave this conversation? Is it going to be, you know, a positive? Is this going to make their day better? Is it going to make their day worse? And so just looking back, I think that's just one little thing in baseball, just being a good teammate and like be positive, you know, when the greatest impact you can make on yourself is a positive impact on someone else. And I feel that like you get done having a great conversation or helping someone out and you're like, I'm very happy like with myself. So I think that would just be my little piece of advice is anyone who's on a team, just like make sure you're being someone who like people are happy to hang out with every single day and go through the grind with.
That's really good. Yeah. I think like a big overarching concept from this whole like episode has been just like positivity and like your self-talk matters so much, but even the way you outwardly talk to other people. So yeah, guys, tomorrow try to do something positive. Let's try to start off with a positive attitude, but thanks again for watching. This is Above the Noise with Ashlee Mitchell, and you guys can find me on Instagram at the Ashlee Mitchell and send in any requests or if you'd like to see anybody. We have some really fun guests coming up soon, and we will see you later.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues